What it do? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We bike. We are bike. Yes, sir. We back. Most Valuable Podcast, episode 58. I am your host, Cinco Band's the man, trying to get 100 grand. You know I got the plan, but I can't do it without you. We bike. What it do, gang? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Give it up for all the real fathers out there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of imitations out there, man. Actually, give it up for the fathers that wanted to be there and they were denied. They still good fathers because some of them have other kids. And you know what I'm saying? They denied certain other kids because baby mamas and all that. You know how that go. Shout out to them. Now, we about to get into some good old fuckery. Good old fuckery, man. With none other
Picture this. You're sitting in your living room.
That. So, we about to check out the super fuckery in the West Coast. Yes, Lord. Super fuckery in the West Coast. We about to check out this Adam and Wack. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna check out some clips first. Let's actually, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it.
I took two things that I love, dancing and dogs, and I made them into a successful business. Hi, I'm Ronnie. I'm the owner of Keta.
And I think with that battle rap, you don't want a super huge crowd. No.
Damn.
Had showed up with no gun, and then 15 marathon employees come out and beat the dog shit out of him. I think at some point, people involved with the business would say, oh, that was inappropriate. That was too much force.
Though. He showed up to a marathon parking lot that usually, this is why Black Sam trips. Usually, we all know that motherfucker police by them. This is why Black Sam, when he did his interview, was like, where was all these dudes at? You understand what I'm saying? He didn't know these motherfuckers wasn't gonna be on point. As far as he concerned, that parking lot is the way it always is. Mm-hmm. But what I'm telling you is when I get a call that somebody in the back, I hear it, I'm not too much tripping it, right? Because I'm like, well, maybe they may be with some of these people. This is why I didn't send my people out. I'm like, yo, Lucy, like, let me go check. They went out. You got cameras out here, that shit. You see when Wack walked out. When I walked out, he go point street, Cuban take point in the back, Lil John is point on my back, him and G Wayne, right? I go back there to address it. I'm a f***ed up dude, bro. My body language gonna tell you, bro, I'll break a nigga shit in a minute. I will get off fast in a minute. And Stitches, Game didn't tell me Wack, cup Stitches. Stitches came as a threat. Game didn't know I was gonna do that. Had no idea. You a threat, I'm running point, I handled it. It's in front of me. As I would do for you and you. This is just real shit. So at the end of the day, people that came up here for brick, people that came up here, nobody just never got an issue. People that came up here for you, people that came up here for fucking AD, 50 Mexicans deep. This real shit. Let's not act like people ain't attempted to come up here.
AD invited them.
Well, I don't know. Well, shit, y'all led it to believe that what? They popped up.
That was a fake narrative.
Well, shit, we don't know. All we see is 50 Mexicans popped up in no jumper. I wouldn't play like that because you know what it does? It gives other motherfuckers the impression they can play like that. Now, I hate to say, it's unfortunate what happened to, because I don't know this other dude. I don't know who he is, right? It's unfortunate what happened. But I guarantee you, I bet you another motherfucker won't pop up playing.
Well,
I bet you that
I
much.
just don't think they were really playing.
Listen.
They didn't come here on some bullshit.
Too deep.
From what I saw.
Old guys.
Two older guys, too deep, knowing that there's a shitload of people here, no
what.
guns.
They goofy
Okay,
as hell.
Adam,
if
How
they were
dangerous
there,
could they possibly have
Okay,
been?
Adam, check this out. Respectfully. Could I send two people up here and show you how, I promise you, it's going to happen, but it won't. Want me to show you how dangerous two people can be?
That nigga said, I promise you.
I agree
it's
that
gonna
two
happen.
people could be dangerous.
Fuck
My
outta here,
allegation
bro.
is that these
Nigga, I
specific
didn't want-
people did not pose a threat.
No, but bro, when you start gang talking with your mouth, if me and, who's this dude, Comparator,
Yeah.
if me and Comparator right there and you standing where I was at, right? And Comparator say, hey, Wack on Sign Fan, I say, nigga on Pacoima. What are you gonna do?
My name is Paul. That's between y'all.
And you're gonna do what?
Back the fuck up.
Once that gang shit start popping, this 50 years of killing, motherfucker, you know what's happening. You know what's happening. Don't just because you up there crying and playing this role, nigga, you got a penitentiary gang file. He said it, that says, Lil Deuce from 11-8 Gangster Crip. He's on gang file, been to the penitentiary. Don't get up there, bro. That's like you seeing me up there playing Mary Poppins. Come on, Wack, what the f you doing?
He
Nigga,
was
you
locked
a
up with
power
Loose.
bro.
He was locked up with Loose, apparently.
He was locked up with him.
Right.
I don't know what motherfuckers got, but I do know when he started popping, and I could have reacted to that, but I knew if you know what I'm saying, if I would have reacted to that in any kind of way, I know my team and what they do. So it's up to me to pull them into or keep them out of certain shit. Come on, Adam. I'm gonna be real, bro. I fuck with you. I fuck with your whole family. Don't think for 1 second that I don't attend your shit being disrespectful. I don't attend your shit, so I make sure I don't violate your shit. Because if I come in there with my team and the nigga say some slick shit, unfortunately, bro, it's what it is. So what do? Being 47 years, I eliminate the possibility of it happening. Right. And I take the hit. I would love to come there and be seen and be on camera with you while other shit and shake hands. So the closer I am to you, the more people f with you or f with me. But the respect I got, I say, you know what, Wack, Brick might be your last shit. What you tell me? I said, bro, where it's at? Whoopty whoopty whoop. What you tell me? You said, Wack, Brick might be there. What I say, third? On Paul Root, we was at California Pizza Kitchen. We just left Trail Shit. Yeah. I called you. I said, bro, where the shit at? Because you invited us. Right? You told me specifically what?
Don't fight anyone. Something like that. I don't know.
Everybody was ready to go. What'd I say? I said, Creep, you can go because he's neutral. We ain't going. I went home, bro. Not that I didn't want to go. You just told me that. So what I'm thinking is, even if I go, bro just told me. So look, Wack.
But they all told me that they did go and that they were stuck downstairs and they didn't have my number or they didn't want to call me or whatever.
And Creep went,
there was a whole security team downstairs. Nobody even called me. Nobody even told me they were there.
Listen, this is real shit. Have I ever told y'all when y'all see Brick, whoopty whoopty whoop, it's a green light? Right? But it's different that if we see each other, right, and some words is exchanged, or he with somebody or some shit, right? Because at that point in time, it's gonna be some bullshit. Only so much I'm gonna tolerate, right? This is real shit.
Understood that, yeah.
So what I do, right, is I simply, it's pro. R&B was like, yo, I like with Adam, and you know, I want to meet his wife. Well, I said, you know what, I get with bro. Maybe we can like go out, can lunch or brunch or some shit, whatever, right? I said, I don't want to put myself in that situation, right, to where some shit get locked. Why? Because I know what my team does, bro. So I just don't. Come on, you even said it. Wack don't pop out. Oh, Wack pop out. But, bro, outside of having business with you, I've learned to respect you as a brother. So I just don't think I don't want to be there. I can go anywhere I want. I am well prepared and equipped to go anywhere I want. But depending on the politics of the situation, I won't do it.
And this is why No Jumper's segregated between Wack and Brick. They can never.
No, and then Brick, what's up with this narrative? Why dude talking about I requested that he don't be here?
I just think that I don't think
you never had to request that.
Yeah,
that was our doing.
What are you talking about?
We've been trying to get you guys to do a podcast together for a long time. It keeps getting fucked up before it happens.
I said I would do it. Now let me ask you something. You think if I tell you all right, that I'll do it with Brick, you think I'm gonna get him in and do something to him, bro?
No.
Right? So at the end of the day, right, I've never seen Brick. All Brick did with me was talk a little shit. I really don't know him. I know you more than I know Brick. Because I've seen you 2, 3, 4 times, right? I don't know the dude. I don't take dudes serious like that. I just don't. Right? I mean, Adam, if I was tripping, I wouldn't have pulled his motherfucking coattail when he was down bottom in Miami. If I'm tripping, I'm like, oh, go ahead, you handle the business. Get him out the way.
Yeah, it seems like you guys could have a cordial conversation.
They do. They speak.
Yeah.
Brick was forced in a way to be the voice of a situation because he was the one with a platform. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Because Big U don't want to come yapping about you all the time, so he's got to kind of
be the voice.
Brick got to speak
and then
for him.
If you talk to Brick one-on-one, he didn't even want to do that, but it's the reason he had to do that. Right? So, I get it. Now, I did the best I can. I put out an APB. I said, who got the watch?
Whose watch is that?
I guess this is dude watch. It's a fake Michael Kors.
I was gonna say that's a $20 watch in Santee Alley.
It's fake Michael Kors. It ain't
How you gonna have a fake Michael Kors?
It don't even look at it. Don't
real
even
Michael Kors.
It don't even
boutique.
say the S. It just say Core.
Yeah, that's kind of,
Are you serious?
Michael Hardcore. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So look, bro. Listen. Bro. Listen. You come get your shit or whatever.
I feel like this is not analogous with the other stuff that you're saying. You're saying that the way that you and Luce, et cetera, responded was entirely defensive, but then you're also on here showing off his watch.
No, I'm saying I put out an APB to find it. I don't got it. I'm not doing the Brick, baby, and I'm going to tell you.
So we can keep that here and we'll return it to him?
You see? I didn't even have it. Bro had the shit. He brought it in. Your f***ing editor, the cameraman guy. Now, Brick, that shit Brick doing, while you talk.
So I must have clicked the wrong one. Shit.
Starting in your 20s, you lose up to 1% of your skin's natural collagen each year. Enter Neutrogena Collagen.
Wait. All right, we filming? Okay.
Yeah, you paid the
closer to home.
So
that everybody's kind of looking at that
there
like,
you have
oh,
it.
that could be an issue.
There you have it.
Yeah.
That's what I told the homie. I'm like, bro, I don't understand what you doing. You letting this dude who ain't really on your level drag you down there with him, right? But what he don't understand, being from where he at, is that this a grimy, treacherous, two-faced gutter down here. Everybody got babies by certain people's sisters, relatives from across the street and over here, and you will get politicked on and won't even know you being lined up and fed to the wolves. And guess what? You can drive 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and you still ain't back in the comforts of your block. So you a long way from home to be down here playing. So, hopefully they get it right, because it's already things going on. It's a few wars going on. Summertime is here. We got the Hispanics going through what
I believe he talking about King Pill and 4 extras. They supposed to have a fight, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
they going through. And I've been sitting back really on the edge because I don't know what that's gonna lead to.
Really?
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, that could blow up on us all. Anybody that's black Anybody that's from the streets who's not on their toes watching what's going on in these streets, because it's a distraction going on, right? Everybody's distracted on what's going on downtown and what's going on in these little pockets with the protests, and while the distraction is going on, people might make the decision like, you know what, since they ain't standing with us, then we gonna stand against them.
Oh, so you think we're on the verge of a race war of sorts?
It's possible, and you gotta prepare yourself for the possibilities. I hope it doesn't happen, but it's possible because they could sit back and say, hey, they ain't standing with us, so they're against us. So you know what, while we dealing with ICE, we gonna deal with them too, before they get us, right? They could be, and then we gonna go back. They could be on that. And I sat back and I kind of ran it through my mind, should we be out there on the front line with them? So I thought about Rodney King, I thought about George Floyd, and you know, you get your view, but that was a Negro thing, and that's what we had to deal with.
That was like 30 years ago.
It doesn't matter when it was.
Don't you feel like the Mexicans were out in force during the George Floyd protests?
Not at all. I didn't see them like that. I mean, you gonna see, I saw white people front line, to keep it real, but I didn't see a movement to where La Raza was saying, hey, we out there with you, right? I didn't see that. And guess what? It wasn't their obligation or responsibility, right? It wasn't their time to take that chance or risk that.
I mean, you voted for Trump, so if anything, you should probably go protest and be hand in hand, arm in arm with ICE.
Well, this the thing, and I hate to hit you with a reality check, but 46% of the Hispanics voted for Trump. More black people voted for Kamala than Trump. This is a fact. Male and female, 46% of the Hispanic race voted for Trump. Trump's whole run, he was telling you he's gonna do mass deportation. Now, we can't blame Trump because a lot of these things was already established during the Obama administration. It's easy for Trump to activate it because it's already on the books. He don't gotta go get nothing passed, it's there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So,
but that is kind of the funny thing.
46%, pull it up, bro.
No, I did. I just looked it up. It was 31 in 2020, and then it was 46 in the most recent election.
48.
Election, not
For
election.
Trump.
Freudian slip.
So 15% since the first time to the second time.
But okay, this is the thing: is that so you've got large groups of people, obviously majority Hispanic, protesting these ICE raids and everything. Shouldn't they be working on their own community in advance of this, given that their own community went in large part for Trump? Like, it just seems like they are fighting against these ICE raids. It's like, bro, you're way too late. You should have had some of this energy when Trump was running.
This is what I'm
You should have had
confused
this energy for your own community. It's too late.
This is why I'm
Trump
confused.
is already in office, and the country as a whole, the number one issue that got Trump elected was illegal immigration.
So why did they vote for him?
Because they don't give a because a huge percentage of Hispanics, of Mexicans,
are legal.
They look at the illegal immigrants and they see them as the problem starters. They actually want them out of their
want them
community.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
So a lot of, like, I seen one essay, he said something real. He said, you're standing on top of a car protesting against going back to Mexico, your country, but you're waving a Mexican flag in California, the United States.
And acting like it's a death sentence if they get sent back to Mexico. Yeah.
If you're waving your flag and you're proud of your flag in your country, why are you protesting about going back?
Right.
And when you think about it, it don't make sense. Now, I will say this. I'm seeing a lot of Trump's doing some guerrilla tactics. I didn't believe it. Me and R&B took a ride. It's Marines around the federal building on Wilshire and Veterans. 700 of them he didn't dispatch. And he didn't dispatch them to do nothing. He dispatched them to have boots on the ground. His excuse was, we gonna put them around the embassy and this, that. So instead of them being 120 miles away in Camp Pendleton, now they're 4 or 5 miles away from anywhere they gotta go. You got 2,500 National Guards on the ground, right? So, and what do? What do they do? You go loot and start burning things down, which gives Trump even more reason to activate and say, you see, You can't be American. Americans wouldn't be burning down this and breaking in and looting this and that. This is why we got to get rid of y'all. Now, they surrounding schools, construction sites. I know Trump has to have a plan because when he's shutting down produce, that slows down the trucking industry, that drives up costs in the grocery stores. When he's shutting down construction sites, that messes the bankers is what provide the loans, and they make their money off the interest rates on giving loans for these finished homes and buildings. So everything's gonna slow down. I don't know what his ultimate plan is, and it's just not Hispanics, Africans, Asians, Dominicans, anybody that's not a U.S. citizen that's here illegally is who he's going after. I did see in Colombia that they wouldn't let the planes land. They made them circle and send them back. So I don't know how this is gonna play out. I feel for the children. They're raiding. I seen them raid a 6th grade graduation. So the parents are running. They getting gaffled up, but where the kids going?
Right. I mean, I feel for the people who are being, ran up out of their houses and their communities and everything like that. But ultimately, there was so much that these communities could have done in the lead up to the election that it just feels like such a immature response when there's so much organizing that could have taken place in the lead up to the election if people really wanted to fight against these policies that, you got to admit, were incredibly popular nationwide because America as a whole feels like illegal immigration is completely out of control, and they're actually having a hard time reaching their deportation targets because of the fact that the southern border has now been sealed off to such an extent that like barely anybody is getting through now. So I mean, they're probably going to fail at deporting as many people as they want to deport because
what are they going to do with them?
Well, if they want to find people to deport, they sort of have to do this shit. They have to hit the Home Depot parking lots. They have to go into people's communities and get them because they're just not able to grab people up from like right in these border towns.
People not going to work, bro.
Yeah.
I've been seeing things like they pulling up the warehouses in certain places and people are running. So people not going to work. I don't know. I mean, listen, this is a country, bro. It's rules and regulations. I get it. How this is going to turn out, I don't know. I think that we have not seen the worst of it. I think it's going to erupt another way. And if it erupts another way, our law enforcement looks like they're intimidated. They starting to look defeated. They throwing bricks and rocks and like, bro, they had the whole 110 shut down. All the squad cars on the freeways thrashed. They're just standing there. But there are everyday people. Cops ain't like people that, some come out the military. They're not like no hard-nosed, but they're regular people in uniform sent to enforce the law. So, can they or can't they? I don't know. But what I do know is y'all voted for Trump.
Yeah. Like almost no demographic pivoted more towards Trump than the Hispanics. So it's like, really, what the like, what do you want to say? This feels like a last-ditch effort to try to stop something that the American people asked for and that their communities in large part.
I'm gonna say this. He conned them people. Straight con. He conned them. I didn't convince the motherfucker in my lifetime to do some shit and then totally flip the script on a nigga. Come on, man. They got conned because they voted to get the illegal people out. You guys are going into elementaries and all this shit, and y'all snatching up people that ain't even illegal. Y'all not knowing they not illegal until after you snatch them up. So let's not, and y'all bum rushing people on the streets and shit. Let's not act like, shit is all peaches and cream. They playing dirty tactics. Motherfuckers is acting dirty today, so they playing dirty tactics. But they not supposed to. You feel me? But they are.
asked for. Why does nobody in the Hispanic community have negative shit to say? Like, I personally haven't seen any real significant blowback coming at all of the Hispanic influencers who pushed for Trump.
That's a fact.
I feel like they needed to have somebody of the Hispanic descent up there while they talking about this, just so they can get a point of view. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's looking like they punching shit up.
A lot of the people in this podcasting space were admittedly pro-Trump, and now they're doing these crazy protests against ICE, and nobody has any of that energy towards the people in their own communities who rallied on behalf of this man.
But it supports what you said.
What?
The only people that can vote are people that's citizens. So the Hispanics that voted are the Hispanics who really don't want the illegals, which is their own people here.
And to be fair, I mean, the Democrats created this situation by having such a porous border. You know, like the fact that there were so many illegal immigrants spilling into this country created the appetite that essentially got Trump elected. Like, if the Democrats could really go back in time, Joe Biden would have been tough on immigration since day one, and then Trump probably wouldn't have got elected, or at least he would have had to find something else to campaign on, because realistically, that was the number one issue, the economy and immigration, that motivated people to put him in office.
Yeah. You gonna tell the people how you stole the interview? Controversial. He tucked his tail.
Okay, well, let's just lay out the scenario for people. Is that we had an interview planned for tomorrow with Yak Gotti, obviously, of
Who's we?
the YSL trial. Me and Remo.
You and who?
Me and Remo.
You and who?
You're gonna lie now, and
You
you're
and
gonna act
Remo?
like you were in on this, and like you didn't just run up in it in the last minute.
No, you and who?
Why are you?
You and Remo.
You want to do your little tantrum thing before I actually say what actually
You and
happened?
Remo.
Me and Remo have been working this week to get the Yak Gotti interview lined up. We agreed on a dollar amount tomorrow. We're gonna do it. You hit me up this morning and said, "Oh, Yak Gotti's gonna come on the Adam and Wack show." Now, this is a problem because with the amount that we're paying Yak Gotti, we can't just do the Adam and Wack show with him. Me and you have a profit sharing agreement in
What
place. So
amount you
unless he's
paying him?
willing to do it for free.
You know what? Maybe I should start being on what y'all pay these people, because you must be overpaying some of these people. Because at the end of the day, let's be real. I'm going to be real, and I'm going to tell all you artists out there, especially you dudes that ain't got no flame, right? No Jumper is the 70%. They ain't doing No Jumper a favor.
I would love to never have to pay anybody
No, I'm
for an
just
interview
being
again.
real.
I'm just saying that
If it's
we look at it as a big interview that is going to cost a fee. I think that's fair, given everything that Yak Gotti's gone through. So we lined
Whatever
it up.
Yak then went through ain't got a damn thing to do with No Jumper. No Jumper is giving him a visual, right, to help him get back online. We ain't dealing with somebody that got 1 million or even 500,000.
I think it's a very important story to tell. And I also
got
know
what?
for a fact that he's going to Vlad and that Vlad is paying him.
Hold on.
So if we want to be in that conversation, then we're going to have to.
What I'm saying is, I'm the one exposed the interrogation footage.
Main character syndrome that you're making all about yourself. Nobody cares about
No,
that.
hold on. I'm going to tell
Nobody
you what they
cares.
care
Nobody
about.
remembers and nobody cares.
I'm going to tell you what they care about. If I'm the one that exposed the interrogation footage of him in there saying and doing things he wasn't supposed to do, and then he goes on the Danza Project a week ago, and they asked him about what Wack did, man, he has some real strong things to say about Wack. I think the people would love to see Yak Gotti pull up on Wack, the one that exposed him, because y'all not gonna ask the questions. Y'all soft.
No, we are going to ask the
Y'all ain't
questions.
gonna. How you
we
gonna,
actually are going to ask him
You
everything.
don't even know the details to ask him.
You
questions.
don't know what to ask him. No offense. You're a very good podcaster, but you are a dog shit interviewer.
I'm a what?
You have no idea how to do an interview.
What?
I mean, I'm just,
No, I don't
everybody
inter-
out there knows it too.
I don't interview like you.
Right, which is to
Right.
say that when you do interviews, you sit there and talk about yourself the whole time.
No, I don't.
Yes.
I-
Many such
listen,
cases.
no, I
They
don't.
know. They know.
I don't talk about me.
Yes, you do.
I talk about them. I remember when I brought Zoe Osama, the minute I asked him something about him, you went into some gay
But
shit.
that wasn't an interview. That was just a regular episode, and he was supposed to be the co-host. But you
Yeah, yeah,
misinformed him, so he thought it was supposed to be an interview,
Anytime
which
you got an
resulted in
artist-
a very, very awkward
So
conversation.
you telling me when Yak Gotti comes here tomorrow, whenever he comes, you don't think he's gonna talk about his music or projects he got coming out?
We'll let him talk about that once we get past all the other stuff, yeah.
So Okay, but you're gonna let him talk about it, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, you and Remo and Yak, that's a safe conversation.
No, we're gonna ask him everything. You're gonna sit there and talk about banging R&B the whole time.
No, it does. Listen.
So Yak, I was banging my girl yesterday. Let me tell you, the condom slipped.
See, Adam, you always bring my girl up. The reason why, you don't like talking about your girl, because the other dude is banging your girl, because they all over the internet.
Right. Yeah.
They on yachts. I don't know. I'm starting to get mad. I got a problem with him now.
Okay.
I'm starting to get mad at this dude.
Okay.
This is a fact, bro. Mm-hmm. It's bothering me. I don't even like to do no more.
Honestly, hype it up. Get on Instagram, make a whole big thing out of it.
I'm just being real because it's too much going on. It's too much. That what it says is too much. So yeah, okay, cool. But the controversy is Yak Gotti pulls up to the West Coast on Wack 100 after he exposed him. It's only one person did that. Well, it's only one other person. Only one other person did that.
So when
that was Snoopy. Snoopy Badass pulled up.
If we were to tell the world, hey, we got a Yak Gotti interview coming up, less than 1% of people are going to be like, ooh, I would love to see Wack and Yak go head to head.
No, you know what I always hear? And you need to tell these people this. Wack, why these people you expose when they go to No Jumper, you ain't nowhere around? He don't tell me.
True. Because, all right, this is the thing.
You don't tell me. They want to see. Listen, Yak could have sat right here and would have been in conversation, right? Because at the end of the day, I seen what I seen. The content I got came from Atlanta. It came from his
I understand that you're very wrapped up in your own little social media games, but the thing about me is that I'm running an actual business. Now, let me explain how paying for an interview works. Is that we give them X amount of dollars, we take the interview, we chop it up into parts, and then we release it clip by clip because that's the way that we're going to make the most money off of that content, and then
do that with all the interviews,
and then be able to pay for the amount of money that we gave the person. If we have Yak Gotti on this podcast, which again comes out every Sunday, what's going to happen is that you are going to kind of remove all of the excitement about the other interview that we're going to do, and then we're going to put this one out. It's not going to earn that much, and we're supposed to split the money with you. And I asked you, I'm like, well, do you want to split the fee for Yak and then just give him that money out of this?
Paying these dudes, I think you overpaying these dudes, especially right now.
Well, it makes sense that you would have that opinion as somebody who has never had to pay anybody for an interview, and not me, who's actually doing this every single day. It's very interesting that you feel like you have more authority about that subject than me, where this is literally what I do every day.
Adam, I guarantee you.
Adam in his feelings. This is where Adam gets upset. Adam is in his feelings. Adam having a tantrum. What makes you better at this than me? Adam, you might be overpaying these people.
I can take that lane of your business and make it make more sense. This is a fact.
Nobody wants to see you do an interview. No offense.
What? You paying these dudes to come on a platform that's helping them.
Yes, but in the current interview...
Hey, this man is split down the middle with Wack. He don't like that. He don't want Wack to have no action other than what he has. Wack telling him. He's sitting there telling him, that part of your business, I could turn up. And I believe him. Because the nigga be making moves. You hear me? The nigga makes it shake. You feel me? So, I think Adam need to give him a shot with that, man. Because, Adam, if you overpaying these people, bro, I've never in my life heard somebody get upset over a person telling them they could save them money. I could save you bread, and you getting mad at me? Fuck out of here.
Ecosystem that we exist in, the biggest interviews, especially with people who aren't necessarily pushing something or have a product in hand that they're trying to get out there. Like, for instance, let's say Yak Gotti a year down the road, he's got a new mixtape. He really wants to promote the mixtape. People are already sick of hearing him talk about the YSL trial and everything like that. Then that might be a time in which him doing a free interview makes sense. But given that he still has all this mystique around him because he was part of one of the biggest trials in hip-hop history, I think it's fair and it makes sense.
When
that
he
we
took
pay him.
it to the box, everybody watched that already. So it really ain't nothing to talk about. What people want to talk about is the bullshit.
We're going to talk about the bullshit and everything that happened during the trial.
So I got to give you what to say. That's what it is, because I don't think you know.
I don't think we need to know anything from you, but if you want to send over some ideas, sure.
You don't need, it's our content. You don't even know what it is.
What?
You don't even remember the punchline in the interrogation. It's one punchline. It was a lot of bullshit.
The fact that you think that the video of the interrogation is the most interesting thing is because you're obsessed with yourself and you can't really see past things that involve you.
Do you know it was people that was involved in the YSL trial that was told on back then?
I haven't really 100% dug into the research that we've done.
Let's carry on.
My team is putting together the
Your
questions.
team,
I will review the
bunch
questions
of
tonight,
goobers
and then I will
who
watch a
don't even
bunch of
know.
supplementary
I'm gonna give
information.
you the shit. All right?
Goobers.
I'm gonna give you a few things because some of these names you're gonna say, "Whoa, Wack! I didn't know he got out on him back then." Because some of these dudes you've already interviewed, right? So I'm gonna give you the things, and I'm gonna give you the craziest punchline that he said, right?
What's that?
Huh?
What was that?
What's the punchline?
Do you want me to wear a wire? I can bring you back some more information,
Oh yeah, we're gonna ask him about all that. Yeah.
right? And y'all gonna let him spin because your understanding and Remo's understanding is from the civilian
Hold up,
side
right.
of it. Y'all know it ain't right.
Skip past that, like he didn't say that. Do you want me to wear a wire? I can bring you back more information. Wow. Nah, Yak ain't say that. Nah, Yak. Nah, Yak, my nigga. No. Yak didn't say that. Nah, hell no.
We are on a mission to be fair and objective and to really
Yeah, we ain't
probe into the
being
innermost
fair.
details.
We're not, it's no fair to that. It's about, are you gonna cop to and admit to what you did? Are you gonna keep it gangster like 6ix9ine did? It is keeping the gangster rats.
What did 6ix9ine keep gangster?
He said I ratted.
Keeping it gangster.
I told I ratted, so what? So,
But he also made up the shit about Shadi and Sarah, and did a whole lot of other shit to justify his decision.
no, he ain't make none of that up. Common sense tell you if he the only one looking at 48 years as the goddamn head of it, that only comes from people underneath you involved telling them things you've done. So this is, see, sometimes the common sense of the law tells you some of these dudes did something. He was the only one looking at the kingpin. That means they're saying he gave us the money to do this. He had us do that. He paid us to do this, do that, do that. So when they press play, you know, okay, 6ix9ine looking at 47 years. This dude looking at what? 15. He looking at what? 12, 10. But yet these were the main players. So you know some of these people had to give the feds the information and point the finger at him. I'm just saying, run your content, talk about the YSL trial that we all watched. He beat that. He took that to the box. Salute to him, right? He got stabbed the day before he got out. That could have been over canteen, a brawl, a look, a nigga mad that he beat. It could have been over anything, right? He did what he's supposed to deal with that. But it is a few things that, you know, that he did that he shouldn't have did. And I told him last night, I respect you more if you stand on it and say that's what you did. But don't tell me I'm crazy.
There is 0% of me that has any interest in doing an interview with somebody who told and not asking them a thorough set of questions
There we go.
about
That's all
them
I ask.
telling.
That's all I ask. I
absolutely
give
required.
you got 13 and a half minutes to be a ninja when you're doing that segment.
To be a ninja.
What does being a ninja consist of?
You've been around enough of us. I think you know.
Just wild out, just
No.
stand on the table.
What are you
what
trying
kind of
to say?
behavior?
What are you saying about
What do you
ninja?
mean stand on the table? Wait, hold up. Pause. Fuck he means stand on the table. Wow. That's how you feel about niggas? Wack, you see how you feel about ninjas? Come on, man, the real's coming out. This your partner. He only got a vouch because you vouching for him, Wack. This nigga?
Just
I don't know. And are we talking about actual ninjas?
We waiting. Soon as you go on Wack, we waiting. We gonna cancel his ass. That nigga's canceled.
Or are you talking about the N-word?
I mean, the N-word are actual ninjas.
You know, and you've taken the N-word and now you're using the ninja emoji, which is fine, but now you're saying ninjas and I'm supposed to be able
We've
to
been
parse
saying
whether
ninja for
it's
damn near 30
ninjas
years now.
or the N-word.
Yo, we've been saying that. That's really started in prison. I'm going to keep it real.
Ninja is new.
No, it's not. Are you crazy?
Relatively.
All the older homies, when I got to the joint, was saying ninja. They didn't like us saying the N-word at all. They was already converting over. That's like midnight. This is a fact. I swear to God. I never would say. I'm just starting to say it because maybe I done got old. It is what it is.
Okay, so very, very interesting topic that we also have to discuss. So over the weekend, Seti Nash, who is from Sacramento, you were actually the person who alerted me to this.
I talked to him.
He brought Little Woody to Rolling 60s territory. I don't think that he thought that this was a big deal, and it seemed like everybody that he brought Little Woody around was just as happy. You know, they definitely weren't looking at Woody as a snitch. They were looking at him as, this is the funny motherfucker from the YSL trial and all these 20 versus 1s. They were happy to have him there. Once they leave,
The internet
starts talking. Eventually, Seti Nash is forced to issue an apology for bringing Woody there. So then he ends up calling into the No Jumper show, at which point somehow we end up politicking about the video from the news of Seti Nash allegedly spilling the beans about somebody. Seti Nash really came with a bunch of excuses that to us, well, I mean, regardless of if I believe them or not, it left the entire room laughing their asses off. Everybody was dying at the idea of him being a, a crisis actor.
So here's the thing. I talked to Seti.
Okay.
I waited a couple days to go by and I called him. I like Seti. He all right dude with me. He didn't say some bullshit about me, but he all right. Right? And you can't, Seti's from Sacramento, lives in Atlanta, and he claims Rolling 60s. Therefore, he don't have the right rank or the respect to dictate or call nothing. Right? It's one thing if Seti was running around Wilshire or Hollywood with Woody. They were in the heart of the 60s with real Rolling 60s. You get what I'm saying? So at this point in time, it's no longer on Seti. Now, for what Seti told me, he said dudes was clout chasing and Woody wasn't even supposed to go over there. They wanted to take him over there. He said they called him when the internet went crazy and told him to come back because now they're getting calls from them people that don't understand the internet, right? So they forced Seti to go back over there. Now, from what Seti tell me, and I'm in shock, he said one of the dudes that kept talking, who was one of the main dudes that wanted to bring Woody over there, knowing Woody's situation, right? Seti told him, well, you want to get out? We can get out and run the fade. They say dude didn't want to run the fade, which is a little different for that neighborhood because at that point in time, it's a pack out that's going to happen. Now, Woody, how it's supposed to went when he went over there, he should be mad at Seti right now a little bit because they would have supposed to been stripped, stomped out, marked out, and sent on the way. But the fact that it was a couple days before they hood day, and it's so much that's been going on over there with all the indictments and RICOs and all that, it just killed more of the morale of what that stands for. But who it was a good look for was Woody. I'm telling all y'all right now, Woody is the top rat, king rat. You can't nobody say nothing to him. And me and Woody FaceTime. I talk to Woody. We talk crazy to each other. I call him rats, he calls me things, and then we do our little thing and we get off the line. But the fact that he had the heart and the balls to even get in that car and allow himself to be transported over there with his jewelry on, with his money in his pocket, hey, listen, I think Woody should get rat immunity.
From the streets.
From the streets.
Well, it feels like he mostly has.
Yeah, he should get.
'Cause he's really outside.
Well, Atlanta, he's outside.
Right, yeah.
He's quieting up doing what he's doing. And I seen him. He started a car wash in a gardening business that he's personally coming to do. He's telling you, call this number, me and my boys coming to clean cars, my money getting low. So it ain't like you can't bait him in somewhere. He ain't hiding from nobody. So far as I'm concerned, Woody gets rat immunity.
Okay, but here's a very
from the
important
streets.
question.
That's it.
So,
he earned it.
is Woody going to the 60s? Is that controversial because it's just a bad look for the set to be associated with somebody who has been a high-profile witness in this case? Or is it controversial because of the actual practical reality that this dude could see something illegal going on there and then could communicate with law enforcement about it? Because I saw some people who seemed more concerned about that option, that who knows. And from my perspective, you go to somebody's hood, you're not getting exposed to anything aside from maybe seeing a gun sticking out of somebody's waistline. Maybe somebody's got some personal amount of drugs or whatever, but it's not like I highly doubt Woody was exposed to anything significant.
Maybe you got a camera in your medallion, or maybe you got a listening device on. All of the above.
Okay.
Everything you said, all of the above. But again, shout out to my boy Troy Ave. The streets is a myth. Now, Seti, on the other hand, had to tell him, Seti, I want to hear it. What you mean, Wack? Oh, no. I sit down and do an interview with 6ix9ine. Everybody got a lot to say. Now, you say this is your friend. You do business with him, right? So help me understand it. He said, no, Wack, I get where you coming from. Right? Now, there's another thing you talking about. Said he sent me paperwork and documents and tried to explain, and I told him, if you gave any statements to law enforcement about a description or whereabouts, about gunshots and what direction they might have ran, you in violation if that's what happened. Because now you just told them where to go check for cameras. See, everywhere we go now, you on camera. Right? So if you did any of that, but that's why when you said you was addressing it, and it's funny because I seen it this morning, something popped up this morning of him explaining it. So actually he was sitting with you in this one. So I think you've been on him for a while about it.
Yeah, I did ask him about it in an interview a little while back, but I don't even honestly remember what his thing was. But there's another YouTuber named Byron Blake who I wasn't originally familiar with.
That's A-Verb's guy.
Okay, but last night I ended up watching a video he made a whole series of videos about Seti, and he has gone a bit deeper and has found other situations that he believes makes Seti a rat.
Maybe we need to bring Seti and Byron in.
Where's Byron live?
I believe he's out of St. Louis, but I can call my brother A-Verb.
Okay.
I can call A-Verb. Remember I put the fire out between Hitman Holler and A-Verb.
I don't know that Seti would necessarily want to sit with this Byron Blake guy because Byron Blake seems like he's got quite a bit of animosity towards him. But if we could, it would be great to have somebody who was really, because Seti I think wants to come back next week and do some content about
I'm going to reach out to A-Verb and see if Byron want to come out. You know, everybody know once they sit at this table is to have a conversation. Even you know that, right? You know, when I talked to Yak Gotti last night, I assured him, because I ain't gonna lie, he was moving around Dolo, 2 in the morning. I said, man, where you at? I said, where you at, 5 in the morning? He like, I'm out here on the West Coast. That's how the conversation came up. So, you know, he like, Wack, I said, look, we're gonna come in and have a conversation. He said, nah, Wack, I can't be mad at you for what you saw. He had his reasons for doing it, and that's when it's always funny, as you've seen what I did with what's the Armenian dude?
G-Face.
G-Face. You know, one thing
your finest hour.
One thing you know about me, Adam.
The best thing
one thing you know about me. If you sit your ass in this seat and you didn't did it and I got it, and you try to dance, your ass is in trouble. The best thing you can do is just own up to it, cop to it, and it's so what, and what they gonna do about it. That's what it is. So G-Face was calling fake attorneys and DAs, all kind of stuff. And he lucky they saved him because I had his paperwork that day. I was just setting him up for part 2. Remember I told him.
But then we never actually did it.
He went to jail.
Right.
Remember I said, I'm going to go have him pull it. You might be right. I already had it. You know, he Ratatouille. Master Splinter on steroids. That's a fact. But, you know, shout out to Yak Gotti. He stood on it last night. He told me he know he did wrong. He did too much talking. You know what I'm saying? He learned from it. His thing is nobody is in jail for anything he did. My thing is the things you said in that interrogation room, you're not supposed to say. You know, I can't say, you want me to wear a wire? I wear a wire to get more information. And then when I see you said, Adam, I was just saying that to spin him. That don't work like that. This is why you exercise your Fifth Amendment right. Just remain silent.
No, definitely. But it's funny because this is all kind of the sequel to what happened in Atlanta. If you remember, we did the Lil Woody interview, and Brick Baby happened to be with us. Yeah, that's a nice house.
Crazy.
Brick Baby was with us, and Setty Nash was like the one who kind of set it up and brought Lil Woody through, which Brick Baby, remember, he took photos with him. I'm going to be honest with you, like, I observed how that all went down.
I know you did.
Brick Baby took the photos with him because it would have been awkward as to not take photos with him. They had just been standing. They were having conversation. They were getting along fine. And then people wanted to take photos. You know the way that people, anytime they see two somewhat famous people standing together talking, they're going to try to start taking photos. Woody's like, oh, yeah, let's get a photo, whatever. And then Brick ends up in a trick bag from just being around.
This is my thing. And I've led by example. Hey, bro, if you deal with somebody in any capacity, stand on it. Nobody ever figured out I was doing business with 6ix9ine. I told the people. Nobody ever figured out that Jason Lee, who is openly gay dude, is one of my great friends. I tell the people, whoever you dealing with, no matter what it is, stand on it and you ain't gotta worry about it. If Brick Baby is cool with Lil Woody, which it looked like y'all went here, went there, just say, hey, look, bro, whatever he got going on, he all right with me.
But the thing is that Brick knew what it was going to look like. Brick had already in advance said, yo, when y'all do the interview, I'm going to just chill because it's going to look kind of crazy. But then it's in the parking lot afterwards when everybody's hanging out, and he
might as well should have did the interview. Yeah. We would have respected if he did the interview because being real, Brick could have asked him some questions.
Well, to be fair, Brick was texting me questions during the interview because Brick knows all kinds of shit about Atlanta shit, Young Thug shit.
That's what I'm saying.
That he knew good questions to ask. He just didn't want to be on camera for it. But then when it came down to taking a picture hanging out in the parking lot, he didn't want to be the jerk that was like, no, I can't take a picture with you. Like, he just wanted to avoid that awkwardness, which I know Brick very, very well, and I know that he's not the kind of person that wants to make everything awkward so that he can make his little statement right there. He's kind of more down and just sort of go with the flow, and that ended up kind of biting him in the ass.
Did you see the new Thug?
What new Thug?
You didn't see the new Young Thug at BET weekend?
What was he doing? I don't know.
No, the new Young, listen. Thug, he had to give one of them thugs up. The thug he gave up goes to his girl, Mariah the Scientist. She was not going for it. You didn't see that?
No, what are you talking about?
Thug's walking through. He got his little wolf or coyote mask on with his little bag. He doing his thug thing. Lady says, hey, I'm a fan of your music. He like, okay, thanks. Walks off. She was like, I love you. I love you, Mariah the Scientist. Stop. Turn. Go to push a line. Thugs hold her like, no. She like, I'm finna go check this bitch.
Right.
I'm like, yo, I f with Mariah the Scientist.
But doesn't he have like an open relationship? Isn't he actually f***ing other girls?
I don't know nothing about that. What I do know is Mariah was finna go get that ass. Thug was like, no, this ain't the place.
Really?
Bro, I was like, yo, Mariah, you got my vote. Thug, one of them thugs go to your girl. It's still with you though.
It's crazy how he came out and just decided to be a mask guy.
Yeah, but that's
5 years in jail and you're like, I'm gonna be a mask dude.
The thing about reason why it's really not impactful, because we know whose thing that is. That's a Ye thing.
A Ye thing, a Cardi thing,
a game thing.
It's really it's like an aura protection thing, because I feel like when people just see your face over and over, they get kind of sick of you. They start to think you're like a normal person, and being like so restrictive of your image that you won't even show the world your face is kind of like a way of making sure that they don't really get they're full of you.
Well, what we need from Thug, and I said it, that's my guy. I'm a Thug fan, a Thug supporter, a Thug brother. But I don't know who the hell Thug think he is right now.
What do you mean?
He taking too long to get the people what they want. I don't know if he gonna give us a visual, then come with the audio. I don't know what he gonna do. But the world we live in now, with everything that's going on, somebody slip and fall, and they really gonna forget about
He
Thug.
has taken long enough that it's like when his album drops he has to like actually deliver like a serious classic. It has to be a groundbreaking declarative statement about his career, because you're allowed to drop a whatever ass first day out.
Should've did
but when
that.
you take 6 months or however long it's been to drop, I mean, you're telling the world that you are coming with a classic.
He should have been on that tour with Lil Baby. He should have did about 5 dates with Lil Baby, not the whole thing. And I'm gonna be real, he gonna have to do a song with Kendrick, man. Yeah, he got to do a song with Kendrick.
I mean, yeah,
that'll bring the controversy.
That would be good. That would be. But I mean, I feel like Cardi already kind of did the Atlanta guy doing a song with Kendrick to get attention for his album thing.
The problem is Drake stood in Thug's corner.
Oh,
and then when they asked Thug, about
Drake gave him $1 million right when he got out.
When they asked Thug about how did he feel about what Kendrick said, he really didn't feel I had too much. He didn't say nothing good or bad.
He want to stay out of it. Yeah,
but that would be like something so unexpected, it'll make people talk.
Yeah, but does he really want to upset his relationship with Drake, the biggest rapper in the game, who's held him down to a crazy extent? They have an amazing relationship.
I think a Thug and Drake right now is expected. I don't think it's going to do no more than Drake and Party Next Door.
But what is a song with Kendrick really going to do, aside from fuck up the politics?
No, a song with Kendrick?
Yeah. He's supposed to be Drake's boy.
No, Thug ain't
this
nobody.
This is a real war.
Nobody boy.
You can't play both sides.
That ain't playing both sides.
Look at Lil Baby. Lil Baby about to be out of the YSL Cool Kids Club.
What are you talking about?
He brought out Lucci on stage with him.
Yeah, but let me explain something about that.
Yeah, explain how that works.
I'm going to tell you how that works, right? Because Lil Baby is one of the most technical moving artists that I've seen. Before Lil Baby makes those kind of moves, he's already sat down with his people.
Mm-hmm.
His people, one of them being Thug.
Okay.
They like brothers, you know what I'm saying? So best believe before he did that, it was already a conversation about what it was and what it wasn't. I wouldn't be shocked if I looked up and seen him and Thug doing some music.
Lucci.
It's a fact.
I don't know about that. There's a lot of bloodshed over that one.
Yeah, I mean, listen, hey, bro, with war come casualties. But at some point, if you don't stop the war, then it's going to be continued casualties, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised. But what I do know is Lil Baby ain't gonna violate or he ain't going against the grain. So for Lil Baby to do what he done, it's somebody standing at the table.
But Young Thug hasn't actually reacted to it, right? I think that was fake news when I saw people trying to say that Thug had reacted to it.
Brother,
yeah, I don't
trust me.
No, I agree. Lil Baby, not an idiot. So if he's gonna do a move like that, I feel like for sure, given his relationship with Thug, he probably had to reach out, or it's his way. Two options. He reached out, Thug knew, Thug said it was a good look just because, I don't know, maybe like lessening the tension in the city or whatever, that this was like a cool way to make shit not look as crazy. Obviously, all these rappers are aware of what's going on with law enforcement. Lil Baby doesn't want to end up in the same situation that Thug was just in. Or the other scenario is Lil Baby is just a menace and doesn't give a fuck about Thug's feelings, which seems very unlikely.
Nah, the Lil Baby don't move like that. Yeah. He's a very loyal person, very respectable guy. And listen, hey, look, bro, we got to stop preaching against people making things right. You get what I'm saying? We got to stop preaching against that, because the peer pressure that makes people go the other way. You know, you get enough people say, hey, look, bro, we want to see that, do something. Yo, man, look, y'all need to put it. Then it's a lot less violence, a lot more business, and a lot less BS going on. We got to stop preaching against that. Those that show.
I feel you, Wack. I feel you. Clap it up for Wack. It's like, nah, I'm just playing. Give it up for Wack, y'all. That was good work. He was cooking. He was cooking. But yeah, hey, he pissed off Adam. I'm talking about Adam did cool down now, but he pissed that boy off, man. Adam was you already know, man. It's your boy Cinco Benz the man, trying to get $100 grand. I can't do it without you. Hey, until the next one.